Well, hello there, YouTubers, friends of music. It is today the day after the attacks, the vicious attacks in Paris, in France, and of course that has affected most of the people here in Europe, well, all over the world, all over the civilized world. Today I've been listening. Actually, I didn't really think about the significance of it, but I listened to a couple of records with a group, the French duo Air, that I got hold of. I'm slowly, bit by bit, getting all the records after being a late starter, despite liking their music for years. So I thought, well, why not make a video about some of my favorite artists from France. It's a tribute to the whole country for the massive amount of great music that they have provided during the years. My favorite classical composer playing in the background, Eric Satie. This is a record with Evelyn Crochet, Philip's record, that I'm very fond of, and very nice piano music from the early, I think, from the early 20th century, maybe late 19th century as well. So, just making a French themed video here, which I could have made anyway, because I've always been a great fan of the French culture and the French music, despite having a very a love for the French language, despite not, well, the French language doesn't love me back, I can tell you that right once. I've read it, I've studied it, but I didn't really get anywhere with it, but still, it's so beautiful, such a beautiful language. So, going to start by showing you probably my favorite album with Air, Pocket Symphony from 2007, I think. Got hold of it fairly recently on vinyl, white vinyl, and it's so soothing and so very nice, with some Japanese instrumentation as well, which is very pleasant to the ear. A day like today, we would well, most of us I would prefer listening to something soothing, something calm, something relaxing, and that was a very good option. Then we have an artist that I've been admiring for, well, 25 years. Amina Annabi. She competed in the Eurovision Song Contest for France in 1991, and she almost won. She ended up with the same amount of points as the Swedish singer Carola Häggkvist, although they had some sort of recount when it comes to best number 10s or best number 8 points, or I don't know. But in the end, Carola and Sweden was the winner. I think it's one of the few times when I really haven't been happy about that kind of success for, well, for Sweden or for a Swedish artist, since Amina Annabi was my absolute favorite. I bought the vinyl single. Well, it took some time to actually get hold of the vinyl single, but I finally got it, and I had problems finding this album as well. I found it on CD then, but this vinyl edition is something I found rather recently, actually. So, beautiful singer, such a wonderful voice, and this Northern African style of music with a French big city, Paris style. It's a very nice mix that I am very fond of. Actually, some years after I moved to Stockholm in southern Sweden, I found out that she actually had moved up to northern Sweden to be active as an artist there. And I thought, well, What? I thought it was a joke first. I don't know if she still lives there, but she's been active with some music adventures there with local northern Swedish musicians, and I'm very happy for them. She seems to be a very nice lady today as well. Right, let's move on. Yeah, French singer-songwriter Georges Brassens. This is 10-inch LP from, well, probably, it could be from the 60s actually. I thought, well, 10-inch LPs, that's mainly 50s, but the 10-inch was a popular format in France, well, well, longer than in other countries. I think I've seen several 1960s LPs in the 10-inch format. Georges Brassens influenced many singers and songwriters. The Swedish-Dutch legend, as I've talked about him before, Cornelis Vreeswijk is deeply influenced by Georges Brassens. He said that himself, so it's not just a rumor. Right. Oh yes. French pop music in the yeah style in the 1960s. I'm very fond of that, mainly because it's very good songs, great arrangements, and often really great singers. This is one of them, France Gall. I don't know if she's one of my favorites among the yeah girls, maybe a bit not the strongest voice, but she has a really great song. Well, the winner of the Eurovision Song Contest 1965, one of the best winners, Poupée de cire, Poupée de sang, by Serge Gainsbourg. Yeah, of course, I'm getting back to him later in this video. And you didn't have to wait that long, because here we have History de Mélodie Nelson by Serge Gainsbourg, with, well, that's Jane Birkin on the sleeve. Interesting, very interesting record, and I wish I really knew French better, then I would understand more, although I know the whole background story behind this record. But it's got a very groovy beat, very enjoyable, and he had a great taste both for music and for women, the good old Serge Gainsbourg. He even fancied Whitney Houston, but she wasn't really ready for his subtle advances, if you know what I mean. If you don't, I think you can Google and find the answer. Oh yes, the queen of the yeah girls, Françoise Hardy. Great pop, great songs, a great singer, and incredibly good looking. I think girls looked better in the 60s. Am I a male chauvinist pig for saying so? Yeah, probably. But I defend the right to be that. Yes. Well, I'm not really into electronica music, unless it's French. I've already shown you Air, and of course, I need to show you Jean-Michel Jarre too. Very popular in Sweden when I grew up. Played his music was being played all the time in radio, TV shows used its music as theme music. So we heard it all the time, and I thought it was really cool, this synthesizer style music. Then after a while, all the pop music in the 80s started having these kind of synthesized background, and then it became just awful. But Jean-Michel Jarre, just like Air, did it with style, and still does. He's recently issued a new album. I've just read that, I've seen it as well. I haven't heard it though, but I'm thinking of getting it and having a closer listen to it. Right. Oh yes. Vanessa Paradis. Actually, this is not the record I would show, because this is her first one, a bit childish, but I haven't found her 2 later albums on vinyl yet. Not the one with Lenny Kravitz, nor the second one with a long title that I can never remember. Haven't found them on vinyl. I can understand Lenny Kravitz's album being a bit difficult to find on vinyl because that's from 1992, I think. But her second album was from 1990. Shouldn't have any problems finally, but I haven't. I'm sure I will though, sooner or later. But I have a great respect for her. She great singer, great artist. Oh, another legend, and well, has one of the most beautiful sleeves I've ever seen in my collection. Actually, I could take this and just put it in a frame. Edith Piaf. Look at that. Look at that drawing. So filled with pain and beauty at the same time. Recital 1961. Actually, it's a recording here from December 29th, 1960, so it is quite a late recording with her. She passed away not long after that. I don't think I need to really talk much about Edith Piaf. Most of you who have heard her, well, I guess you have some sort of opinion about her, but you can't really brush her off. She makes an impression on everyone. I think I could say as much. Well, some interesting French prog as well. Parallel on the Barclay label. Well, they've used lots of classical themes. We have La Truite by Schubert, which I guess is the trout, unless I remember wrong. And we have music by Paganini and Richard Wagner, Tannhäuser, Overture and Le Marcheliers, but made in a very more progressive prog rock style. And you don't see this album that often, so I'm very happy I got hold of it some years ago. Well worth having. Yes, and finally, I'm going to show you 3 great compilations. I've shown them before in different videos when I got hold of them. 3 great compilations of French girl singers from the 1960s, issued by Ace International. We have first this album, C'est Chic, and we have Très Chic, and I think I showed this in one of my latest videos, Toujours Chic. Well made compilations with very interesting articles about these artists. Good selection of great 60s pop. Yeah. Very happy I have them, because the original 45s where these songs are taken from are quite scarce, quite hard to get hold of. So happy for this introduction to many great female French singers. Right, I think that's all for now. We have to move on, and we cannot ever give up. And Vive le France, long live France, long live humanity. Bye bye.